Is this person angry? That's how anybody can really like be homeless over here. It's amazing. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining for the first time, I'm Aisha and I make YouTube videos on life in the UK as an international fashion student. So on today's video, I want to share the cultural shocks I've experienced since I got to the UK. So if you don't know, I'm a Nigerian and I've stayed in Nigeria for the whole of my life and I came here to study. I've been here since 2023 and it's just clocked a year since I got to the UK, and I've experienced so many cultural shocks. So let's start. So the first is the teas and coffees are not thick. Yeah, so in Nigeria, our milk and dry chocolates is what we call tea, and over here tea is just like your tea bag, like the Lipton, the tea bag we use in Nigeria. Over here, that's really what is called tea, and they had milk, and there's the coffee, which we don't usually take coffee like that, but we kind of just say the milk and chocolate is the tea and it is the hot chocolate over here, and they don't really take it like that, but I still choose hot chocolate over and over and over again. It's very thick and it's milky. So over here their teas are just watery, and it's like that's how it's meant to be. So you're just really meant to take the tea bag, just the herb, when it's soaked into water. Only if you like milk, then you can add a little milk. So just imagine how watery, how not milky that will look like. So I feel strange. Don't really like it when they make it for me. So if I want to make it by myself, I just add enough milk and it will be very milky, and most of them don't really like that. It's not really that bad, but that's just us. Yeah, something else, like I've been in conversation with some British people and I realized in Nigeria, if you're a Nigerian, there is this thing that when you dip your bread inside your tea, it is not classic. So you get question, why do you dip your bread in your tea? Are you a child? You should eat your bread and drink your tea. I don't like that. I'll still dip my bread in my tea. So I don't know, it may not really be for a lot of people, but from where I come from and from what I've seen, it's not so classy when you dip your bread into your tea. So I do have like that conversation with a lot of people and they're kind of like very amazed, like, whoa, you really dip bread into tea? Like, that's amazing. I was like, really? That's amazing. A lot of things are not that bad and people are amazed about a lot of things, so why not? And I'm really looking at a lot of things with a different eyes now because it's not that bad, and we're not really the only people that dips bread into tea. So I found out that some people in Italy and probably other places, I just like got those information from my friends and all, that some other people also dip croissant. That's like the type of bread they dip like croissant into teas or chocolates and all. So not bad. It's amazing. Oh yeah, so one thing I realized over here is in Nigeria, from my tribe, we don't really pester into people's business like that, especially if you are kind of like strangers, not too close, let's say at your workplace, or people you're not really close with, and you can't be asking them just personal questions like, are your parents happy? Are you married? What does your husband do? Does your husband treat you well? Does my husband treat me well? Okay. As a Nigerian from my tribe, why do you need to know that personal question? We're kind of like very sensitive to stuff like that. So over here, I kind of feel like people just like kind of ask that question. It's not like a big deal. And I understand it from a point that it's just a way to conversate, a way to like just keep the chat rolling, so everything won't be like weird or people are just staring at each other. So if you're at your workplace, it's not bad, they can really ask. I mean, for me, I'll be like, do you need to ask me that question? So over here, I'm kind of like getting used to it and I'm seeing it from a different point of view, like, okay, that's just how it is here. And from a good side, it is a way for you to like promote a conversation. So that's that. Yeah, so people here are not so direct. Okay, so I'm saying this from a workplace point of view. In Nigeria, if you're working with someone, you have a boss or you have a senior at your workplace who is directing you, the person will be direct, like, do this, do that, this is important, this is this, and it's like they're giving you an order on what to do, and you as the person working, you understand that, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. It is an order. You're meant to do this, you're meant to do that. But over here, instead of like ordering someone so it will come out like being bossy, they request, and it's like they give you a choice. So they say it in a way that you may do it and you may not do it, but it is indirectly an order. You're meant to do it. Like, I don't really understand that. If you want me to do something, tell me directly. Stop going through corners. This should be the first thing I mean, there are a lot of ways to be direct. There are a lot of ways to order nicely, not being bossy. So they might say, will you like to do this project? And they might give you other projects too. Will you like to do this? If you have a lot of things to do and you might just want to like choose one for you to do, and later you kind of understand from the conversation that this is what you are meant to do first. Okay, if this is what I'm meant to do first, why didn't you tell me this is what I'm meant to do first? So it's kind of like trying to get the behavior, the attitude, the body language of someone else, of new people. I'm kind of wired different, and I feel maybe Africans are wired differently. So we are very direct when it comes to request, boss, employer and employee, whatever. Also, when it comes to getting angry, it's like they get angry nicely. How do you get angry nicely? I mean, there are ways of being direct and being nice, and I also understand that over here you should be very sensitive toward other people's emotions. So even if you as a boss will get angry, you should do it minimally, and that is very good. I understand that. In fact, I prefer that approach. But for me, that is wired. Like, I know how my boss should react when he or she is angry. I know how he or she should look like, the face reaction, the body language, everything. I'll understand that this person is angry. But when my boss is angry over here, for the first time someone got angry at me at work here, so I kind of like thought about it twice. Is this person angry? So during our conversation, that's when I was already understanding that, oh yeah, this is the angry face. I mean, it's like being nice, trying to explain stuff at the same time being angry. So it needs time for you to like understand. It's kind of like funny. But when you are in a new place, like a totally new place, not like Africa to Africa, but like Africa to like Asia, or Africa to like a totally different continent, people act differently, body language is different, what they mean is different, and it takes time for you to like relearn how all these things means. So the next, the please and thank you culture. Over in Nigeria, it's not like we don't use the word please, we just use it when it's really necessary, like please help me to do this, or you say thank you when someone do something good and you want to like show gratitude. Over here there is the please and thank you culture for every little thing, and it's nice. But in my culture, I feel we do that a lot, but we do it in a different way. And also there is the sorry aspect. Nigerian sorry is different from sorry over here. That is a wide topic on its own, but we're diving into it. So over here, you're meant to say sorry when you really do something bad and it's your fault, and you say, oh sorry, it's my fault. But in Nigeria, we say sorry to show compassion. I know it's not my fault, but just to like show that, oh, I came and sorry about that. So over here, when I say sorry when someone gets a cut, yeah, this is an experience. So a co-worker got a cut on the hand, and he just showed me the cut he got, and I was like, oh sorry. And it was like, oh no, it's not your fault. I was like, I know it's not my fault, I was just thinking. So this is very different. We show compassion in a different way. They show it in a different way here. We show gratitude in a different way, and they show it in a different way here. And also I saw a video about someone saying sorry about something, and the person like suspected her for saying sorry, because why will you say sorry? It means you probably do something wrong, so that's why you're saying sorry. And it's almost like turned into something else. It's I just saw it on Instagram a while ago, and it made me think this thing can really put you in a big trouble. So that's it about sorry and thank yous. Okay, so Nigerian English. So it's like when we say something as a Nigerian here, it's termed into something else to them here. And whatever we mean at that point, they'll say it in a different way. And so when having a conversation, sometimes there's the language barrier. We're speaking the same English, but then the way you use your words are different from the way we use our words. What I'm saying right now, it might mean that you're angry when you're saying the same word in your own way, but maybe in my own way I'm just like asking about something, and it's kind of like gives different concept. And I kind of understand that since we have our traditional languages, so everything we want to say in English, we kind of break it down into pieces as our traditional language, and then we translate into English. So that's how our Nigerian English is like a totally different English on its own. Yes, the smoking culture. So the first time I experienced like smoking and vaping over here, it felt strange to me. In Nigeria, smoking is not part of our culture, so we don't really see that much. And only those people that smoke, we have this like stereotype. From where I come from, I'm not saying this about everything, but from where I come from, they give you that bombastic side eye or that judging look. So there's just a stereotype. So it feels strange seeing a lot of smoking and vaping here. Also in Nigeria, even if you smoke, it should be 18 plus. But over here I see teenagers smoking. I don't understand if there is really no age for smoking here, smoking and vaping. Like I just see a lot of people, and now it's not really a big deal anymore. Also, the PDA. Yes, so I can't say we're not romantic in Nigeria. We are romantic, but it is way different from how it is here. Over here, I mean, you see raw everything. Let me tell you an experience. Okay, so it was from a movie. So there's a guy in front of me. We were walking and I was behind. And all of a sudden, there was another guy standing about a few walks from us. So the guy was like smoking far from us, and we're walking towards that place. I don't know the guy doesn't know me, so I was just behind the guy. All of a sudden the guy reached the other guy smoking, and he just held the guy's waist, and they just like twisted their neck, you know, now the kissing stuff. And the kiss, I've never seen it before. I've only seen it from a movie, and I was like, wow, it's so passionate. Guys on the streets, wonder shall never end. Over here you see kids, adults, public display of affections. It's not a big deal here. And also you see a lot of couples, old couples, holding hands, and it's really so cute. Also, this paying monthly rent. This is one thing I love about Nigeria. You only get to pay your rent once a year, but over here it's monthly. I mean, the bills keep going and going and going and non-stop. So there is more pressure over here when it comes to like paying bills monthly. Like, why should I be paying bills monthly? Over in Nigeria, you only pay your house rent once a year. Here it's like it's a mounting pressure on you, knowing that you've paid this month and you need to keep working. And I feel it's kind of like one of the main reasons why there is more pressure about that, because if you lose your job, na so be that, oh, you don't go. So that's how anybody can really like be homeless over here. Like, I just keep thinking about that, because if you pay your bills monthly and you just lose your job and you're unable to pay, and over here there is no landlord that beg, give me next month. There's no, I mean, it's not fair that in Nigeria, when it comes to like, please, for God's sake, for this sake, there is that compassion in that aspect. Okay, you still feel pity, and okay, you can still stay. Over here, once you sign your contract, that's it. I don't know, but I just feel that's how it is. That's just based on my opinion. If you have a different opinion, let me know nicely. Yes, the walking culture. Yes, walking. I mean walking, moving from one point to another. In Nigeria, God bless us with Okada. So from my house to the second street, I can take Okada. And I know there is Uber here, but there are some places where it is just like walkways. It is not meant for cars, so you can't take Uber to some places. And for someone like me, I'm just like used to taking bike from one point to another, so I don't like walking a bit. But here it has really taught me to walk the walk, talk the talk. just got frustrated at the point. I was like, oh God, if I was in Nigeria now, I would have taken Okada. But then on the good side, it's teaching you how to be fit and be less lazy. Should I say lazy? Yes, I know I'm very lazy. Also, there is this thing that I've noticed. It's not really a big deal, but in Nigeria we kind of like have this unspoken stuff, like when you're moving in groups and you're coming from the opposite side, you shouldn't go in between the groups to give them their, they're going in groups. You shouldn't invade. So you should go like this or like this. You should move. And when these people are also coming, they move to one side. But over here, you can really walk in between people. Like, it's not really a big deal. It depends on the situation, but sometimes it might be rude when you just bash or invade, or you just walk in between groups in Nigeria. Over here, it's not really a big deal. A group of people can be coming and they'll split up and you pass in between, and and I was like, and even sometimes I'll try to be like, for me to like, so they will like split for me to pass in between, and I'll be going the other way. I'll be like, I shouldn't pass, then just for that few seconds, and they'll be like, where should we pass, where should we move? There's a lot to say. So guys, that's it for my cultural shock experience, and I still have more. I will make a second video on this later. So guys, have you subscribed to my channel? If you've not, why? It will cost you nothing to subscribe to my channel. No money involved, no emotional damage. Just click on that subscribe button, and please, to support your girl, please kindly like, share, comment and subscribe. Please click on the notification bell for you to be the first person to receive my next video whenever I post. So that's it guys, thanks for watching. Love you guys, peace out.